I'm Father Robert Ballester, the digital Jesuit, host of This Week in Enterprise Tech here at Enterprise Connect 2017 in Orlando, Florida. I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Joshua Haslett. He is the Vice President of Business Development at Mitel. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Now, of course, Mitel has been around a long time. You're a big player, you're a known player. I understand you're doing something interesting at the show with Internet of Things.
That's true. One of the things is we've embraced digital transformation is really taking us down a path of understanding new use cases that our customers want to try and solve. One of our customers, which has now become a partner, Hub One, was here at the show. They actually applied for the Innovation Showcase for IoT this year, and they were showcasing what they've done to enable airports like Charles de Gaulle Airport to deploy Internet of Things in their environment to improve efficiencies in the back end of the airport. That's things like tracking baggage handling carts, being able to return trolleys to the location after they've been used. But what was interesting is, as we started working with them through understanding how we could give machines a voice, we found things like AED defibrillators that were in the airport that they didn't know when one got activated. So we realized that life and safety was a huge opportunity for us to add improvement. So we used middleware and APIs to connect communications, the Mitel phone systems that they've deployed in their environment, to the IoT notifications that they can get from an AED activation. And in doing that, we now can notify first responders. If we have an IP camera in the area, we can actually give a live video feed from that area to the first responder so they can assess the situation. And we can do two-way communications through IP paging speakers. So it's amazing how we can take unified communications, tie it into this new digital transformation in IoT, and start to create workflows that make a lot better sense for us to respond much quicker and much more intelligently.
Well, it's interesting that IoT is seen as this new thing. It's a new frontier. It's the Wild West. And yet, if you think about what UC is actually, IoT should be part of it. I mean, unified communications, we tend to think of it as phones and conference systems, but it was unifying all communications. And once you have a UC system deployed, what you can actually do with it is only limited by the number of devices that you unify.
That's exactly right. And I think the big part of making sure that UC gets connected to these new triggers from an IoT perspective is having an open framework. Being able to use APIs, right, so that not only us as a vendor, as a manufacturer, can build integrations for our customers, but our systems integrators that sell Mitel solutions can help do those advancements. But we're finding 60 to 70% of our enterprise customers already want to do customization inside their environment, not only for their employees, but for their customer experience, and also for the vendors that they work with.
Yeah. All right, now I have to talk about the other big trend here, and that is cloud. UCaaS. Everything is as a service, everything is in the cloud. Everything has to be deployable both in the cloud, on-premise, and a hybrid of the two. What has Mitel done to make sure that this cloud revolution doesn't leave you behind?
It's a great question. You know, one of the things that we found early on, back in 2009 timeframe, was that our customers were starting to deploy their own data centers. And they wanted to use virtualization to be able to consolidate the way that they cared for their data applications, as well as UC. So we were the first to virtualize the PBX. We did that innovation with VMware back in 2010. And since then, Mitel has continued to take our customers down this path of cloud and capabilities. So after we did private cloud as the first iteration of that, we also then brought to life multi-instance capability for our channel partners to stand up clouds that they could host for their customers with high degree of customization, because multi-instance gave them the capability to do that. Then we brought to bear multi-tenant capabilities, which allow for rapid deployment, less customization, but a lot better efficiencies, so lower price points for the SMB market. And then hybrid became really critical because we had customers that wanted to run their own private data center environment for key locations, but then when it came to retail environments, for instance, they wanted to rapidly deploy at the edge. And so we can do hybrid architectures that are delivered from Mitel or from our channel partners. And now we're embracing microservices capability to decouple the components so we can scale out and scale in as we take a look at how we do cloud orchestration. And we're moving to serverless capability so we can do functions as a service so that customers only pay for what they use instead of having to deploy infrastructure that's always on and available. So it's interesting how we're taking this path, and Mitel's continuing to be at the forefront of embracing the capabilities for our customers to deploy in new ways and leverage new capabilities of the cloud.
Well, I like the direction. I love the fact that you're looking at the connection of IoT devices into the UC field. But then it leads me to ask, where are we going to find you next year? When Mitel comes back to Enterprise Connect 2018, what will you bring with you? How will the landscape have changed in 1 year?
Well, you know, it's interesting. When I was here in 2015, I was on stage with a number of our competitors. And one of the things I've noticed is that our competitors are continuing to build the Uber client. Right? We've seen a lot of announcements here from some of the larger vendors talking about how their clients provide the best UC experience. What we're finding is, yes, there will be a certain segment of the market, knowledge workers, for instance, that use PCs as their primary productivity tool, that want a client that gives a good UC experience. And Mitel, of course, brings that to bear. But where we're finding other opportunity is in the other worker segments where they don't use PCs, they don't use desk phones, but they need to communicate effectively. So opening up the architecture to do embedded communications for information workers and service workers, folks that are first mobile or always mobile, really is the opportunity. And so I think as you see us move into 2018, you'll notice that Mitel is an open architecture company that allows our customers to use workflow digitization tools that really provide efficiencies for the folks that are using mobile devices as their primary device, but they can still leverage the power of the investment they've made with UC for the knowledge workers and connect all those communities of interest together. And I think where that really comes to bear is in vertical workflow capability. You know, you take field service as a specific vertical, there's a great opportunity there. Education, healthcare. And so I think you'll see a transition as we move to digitization and IoT enablement to where companies are doing their own customized workflow solutions using embedded communications.
Joshua, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for introducing our audience to the next generation of Mitel solutions. If they wanted to find out more about what Mitel does and what Mitel can do for them, where should they go?
www.mitel.com. We've got some great information there, and also ways to contact us, and certainly a large channel partner network that can help customers in any geography. As a matter of fact, from a global perspective, Mitel's got every continent covered. So,
thank you again for your time, and thank you for spending your time with us here at Enterprise Connect 2017.